It's been a frustrating 24 hours since Princess canceled our February 18th sailing on the Sun Princess. I've even had Princess call me and ask me to take down my social media posts. What in the world is going on at Princess? Hello everyone, and welcome to the second episode of The Voyager. I thought in this episode I would be providing you some actual video footage of the Sun Princess sitting alongside the pier, then the embarkation process, some first steps onto the ship, and a tour of our cabin. Obviously, that's not what we're covering today. As you've probably heard, our cruise was canceled at 8:30 Tuesday night, just 2 days before we were to fly to Rome, and a little over 4 days before we were to board the ship. To say I'm disappointed that the cruise won't take place is an understatement. But I'm even more disappointed in how Princess management has handled everything regarding the first two sailings. After being notified of the cancellation, and because we were booked back-to-back, I initially thought I would try and keep our original flight to Rome, then travel around Italy before boarding the ship on what would have been our second sailing on February the 28th. I knew from those who had had their February 8th cruise canceled that Princess had also canceled their Easy Air flights within a day. In fact, even though some had wanted to keep those flights, Princess wouldn't allow them to do so. We had also booked through Easy Air, and I didn't want them to cancel my flights until I could figure out what I wanted to do about the trip. I immediately got on the phone to my Princess Vacations planner, but because Princess had waited so late in the evening to send out the cancellation notice, she was not available. I then called customer service to discuss keeping our outbound flights. That was about 8:42 p.m. To Princess's credit, they had set up a dedicated phone bank to specifically handle the calls from the passengers on the canceled cruises. I explained to the very polite lady why I was calling. She didn't know if we would be able to keep our flight and asked me to hold while she talked to someone else at Princess. I assumed that was her supervisor. When she got back on the phone, she told me it would not be possible because they were canceling my next cruise as well, and that I would receive a notice in my mail, whatever that meant. I asked her when the inaugural sailing would actually take place, and she said that all cruises until mid-September were being canceled. I thought she might have misunderstood my question, so I verified with her multiple times that she was saying was that they were canceling not only the February 28th cruise, but all cruises until September. She verified that that was correct. Princess records their calls, so I know there is a recording of my conversation if Princess wants to verify and make public that what I am reporting is correct. After canceling all my ground transportation and hotel in Rome, I wanted others to be aware that, based on what Princess's own customer service department had told me, their cruises could also be in jeopardy, and that they should verify with Princess that what I was told was correct. I would have wanted you to do the same for me if you had been given this information. I think it's part of the benefits of social media. I posted a synopsis of my conversations on several Facebook sites and YouTube channels so others would be aware of what Princess customer service had told me. My advice was to check with Princess to make sure the information was accurate. This morning, I received a call from a very nice lady, I won't divulge her name, who is part of the customer service senior management team. She said the information I had received was incorrect and asked me if I would take down my post. I told her I wouldn't take down the post unless she could say with certainty that the February 28th cruise would be sailing. The cruise is scheduled to sail as planned, was her response. When I pressed her, she said she could not guarantee that it would sail, which put me right back in the situation I had been in with the February 18th cruise. A hope and a prayer that the Sun would sail on time. This lady was wonderful, don't get me wrong. And she even personally helped me rebook my outbound flight at our original fare. I have no complaints with her, and I appreciate everything she did. However, there are problems at Princess, and those responsible hold a much higher job title than this lady. I understand that things happen. Schedules get blown up. Problems are discovered at the last minute, and these things can lead to a last-minute cancellation of a cruise. However, there is no excuse for Princess's lack of timely communication or even no communication at all. Over the past 3 weeks, I sent 4 emails begging Princess to confirm that the February 18th cruise was on. No response. I went to their online chat. Nothing. You cannot convince me that Princess didn't know that the Sun wouldn't be ready to sail this Sunday before 8:30 Tuesday night. I have been involved with dozens of multi-million-dollar projects during my career, and anytime we were not able to meet our projected completion date, we knew well in advance. This is not Princess's first rodeo. If they didn't know, their project managers should be fired. In my opinion, they did know, and they knew well in advance of the original inaugural, the second inaugural, and for that matter, however many more cruises they might end up canceling. They have a good idea of what it will take to fix any of the technical issues they're having, but for some reason they believe silence is better than communication. When I was in business development, I always reminded my clients that it wasn't about if there would be issues, because there would always be issues. But what set our firm apart was the way in which those issues would be handled. And communication was a key ingredient. Princess has totally failed their customers when it comes to transparent communication, and it is my opinion that upper management is to blame. Even though the Sun is technically scheduled to sail on the 28th, I'm not convinced it will. How could I be after everything that's happened? Okay, that's my rant for the day. Hopefully we will sail on the Sun Princess in 2 weeks. If we do, I will bring you all the videos and information I can about this beautiful ship. I have already put together a shot schedule as well as an episode schedule. I plan to post as much as possible while on the ship, but my wife keeps reminding me that this is also our vacation. She believes I can get a little obsessed when I'm doing a project, and I don't want to come back from this cruise and get divorced. I hope Princess will quickly address the issues we discussed. Let Princess Management know how you feel about how things have been handled. Together we can make a difference. Thank you for following me, and please subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button and leave your comments below. I would love to have your feedback. Remember, you'll only regret the trips you don't take. See you on the Sun Princess on the 28th. Hopefully.